Are you not making a lot of matches on Tinder? Well, it's actually probably because you're not utilizing Tinder correctly. Hey, welcome to Online for Love, your #1 resource for dating by the numbers. Today we're going to be going over an online dating app called Tinder, but more specifically we're going to be going over how you can utilize Tinder to get yourself some more matches. Before we get into that though, I do need to tell you guys about our Tinder 101 Hub. Our Tinder 101 Hub consists of 70+ articles that give you the information needed to master Tinder. And another indispensable necessity is our Tinder opening line formula. Using the Tinder opening line formula, we've discovered that users have received 3 times the response rate that they had before. You can find those necessities in the links in the bios down below, along with the online dating app quiz and more. So in order to make this video a bit easier to comprehend, I've broken it down into these 4 sections. The first of which is swiping right too much, then inappropriate profile pictures, then set up your bio game, and then you are too picky. So this is going to move me into #1 on my list, but before I jumped into that, I did want to ask you guys to be sure you are hitting like and subscribe. Seriously, it really does help push our videos out so that more users can utilize this information from us here at Online for Love. We super duper appreciate it. This is moving me into #1 on my list, which is swiping right too much. So you might be asking me, hey Tyler, what the heck? The more right swipes I make, the more potential matches I could be making. But it's actually a lot more complicated than that on Tinder, and it all depends around your ELO score. So in history, an ELO score was originally what was used to rank chess players. So chess players, if they had a high ELO score, meant that they were really good players and they were more likely to win, and players with low ELO scores actually were not as good players and were more likely to not win. So Tinder takes this exact same methodology and applies it to its own app. So if you are somebody who right swipes and gets a lot of matches when you do right swipe, it means you have a higher ELO score. And if you're a user who right swipes and you don't make a lot of matches, then you're going to have a lower ELO score. So through the process of swiping, you are actually directly communicating with Tinder's algorithm. And what it means when you swipe right on Tinder on every single profile is you're letting Tinder know that you have very low standards. So what does that do? It means that Tinder is going to give you very low ELO profiles, and it's going to rank yours lower too. So any fake profiles, Tinder's going to show them to you. Any profiles that have no photos to them, Tinder's going to show you those as well. Those users who are never being swiped right, or those users who never swipe at all, or even those users who don't even send out messages to other people. So from you telling Tinder that you're okay with these low quality profiles, it's going to show you more low quality profiles, which may also be other profiles that aren't really communicating with other people, and those profiles that aren't actually active on the app as much. In the worst case scenario, Tinder could actually suspect that you're a scam profile as you are swiping right on every single profile, and it could give you what is called a shadow ban, where it'll show you utilizing the app. You can utilize the app just fine, but it'll actually hide you from other users on the app so that you can't get any matches. So if you are getting no matches on Tinder, your ELO score is the first thing that you should really be working on getting higher. This of course starts with you swiping right on profiles that you're not just attracted to, but somebody that you genuinely be interested in meeting. For example, maybe you're finding somebody on the app who likes to go to a bunch of nightclubs, but you yourself are introverted, but you want to swipe right on them because they look really attractive. You should absolutely not do this because that person is not compatible with you. What you should do is swipe right on a profile of somebody else who is also introverted that you could actually have a conversation with and click with. This will result in you more likely making matches with that individual, and then therefore more likely having a higher ELO score. This is going to move me into #2 on my list, but before I jumped into that, I did need to tell you guys about our Tinder 101 Hub. Our Tinder 101 Hub consists of 70+ articles that you can utilize in order to master Tinder. Utilizing this Tinder 101 Hub will teach you how to get more matches and therefore get more dates. So this is going to move me into #2 on my list, which is inappropriate profile photos. To put it simply, having bad photos on your Tinder profile is going to end your Tinder experience. Tinder is a very superficial app, whether we like to admit it or not, and everybody judges the profile that they're looking at solely in some cases, but absolutely mostly in all cases off of your photos. Your Tinder photos are going to make or break your experience, so let's go over some tips on how you can get yourself some better photos. So the first step I want to go over is to ease up on the selfies. Now taking a selfie can look like you're being genuine, but it also shows a few different other things as well. Firstly, it shows that you are taking a photo of yourself and you're not really interacting with other people. Secondly, because the camera is so close to your face, it actually distorts your face quite a bit. So actually getting a photo taken of you from further away where the camera can zoom in more will actually look a lot better for you. Of course, you can ask a friend to take a photo of you like this, but if you don't actually have a friend with a nice camera to do that, you can absolutely utilize your phone photo, zoom in a little bit, and put it on a timer and far away. And while that's still technically a selfie, no one's gonna know. The next tip I have for you is to utilize natural lighting. So in a lot of bad quality Tinder photos, I find that they just didn't know how to light the room, or they didn't know how to find good lighting in general. A lot of these photos that I see are in dimly lit areas, and it makes you look kind of like bad, and in some cases even creepy. So what do? Well, you can find a photographer friend who might have a nice light setup, which most people won't be able to do. So then you can use the next best thing, which is to go outside and use some indirect sunlight. Indirect sunlight is going to make you look a lot brighter. It's going to definitely give you that nice contrast that you're looking for in a photo, and it's going to make you have great Tinder photos that somebody will want to swipe right on. The third thing I want to say is to show your personality in these photos. It's not just all about looks. So if you have a particular hobby that you like to do, you can totally show yourself doing that hobby. Or if you even have something, a quirk of yours that you want to show, like maybe you think you're a super funny person and your friends tell you you're funny, you could show yourself doing something funny in these photos so that the person who is looking at the photo can read and understand that. Some other good aspects you could show in your photos include things like being kind or being funny, being attentive or smart or gentle or romantic, or even having a pet. As you can see, it's not all about the abs or being dolled up. It's all about being able to show a likable personality through these photos as well, and it will absolutely get you more right swipes on this app if you can pull that off. Of course, when you do make that match, you then need to have a conversation with the user that you just matched with. And before you do so, I highly recommend that you check out our Tinder opening line formula. Our secret Tinder opening line formula has resulted in people getting 3 times the response rate that they had before. Utilizing this Tinder opening line formula is going to teach you how to have better conversations that will lead to more dates. This is going to move me into number 3 on my list, which is stepping up your bio game. So now that your photos look really great, the next thing you want to do is making sure that your bio looks just as great as well. You want to make sure your bio isn't too vague or too boring, as you want to make something that's going to catch the other user's eye. You also don't want to make something where it's a whole novel utilizing all of the 500 characters that Tinder allows you to utilize, because most people are not going to sit and read all of those words. You want to utilize this bio section in order to describe yourself or write something that's going to be quick and quirky and something that's going to catch the other user's attention so that they would want to continue a conversation with you. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go over some different bio examples that you could utilize in your own bio, and you can give them a bit of a twist so that it fits your own personality and who you are better. So the first one I want to talk about is the pros and cons of dating you. Now this can be a really humorous way of presenting a bio, as you can give the pros and cons of what it is like to date you. So let's go over a few examples. So one example would be: a pro of dating me, I will sing you a romantic serenade, and a con of dating me is in public without shame. Another example is pros: I watch a lot of TV series, I'm an artist, and I can cook. And cons is: I will make references that you don't understand, you will have to tell me what you think of my art, and you do the dishes. Another great bio idea is to share an unpopular opinion. Now this can be striking to a lot of people, or it can be something a bit more playful as well, but no matter what, it's something that they can utilize to start a conversation with you, and it's something that you can bring up in your own conversations as well. Some examples of this include: concerts are a torture, or pineapple on pizza isn't all that bad, or raisin cookies are better than chocolate chip cookies, or Rose from the Titanic is the true villain of the movie. Another thing you could utilize is a would you rather text. So would you rather is a thing where you can ask somebody if they would rather do one thing or the other thing. So let me go over some examples. One example is: would you rather never be able to leave your country or never be able to return to it? Another would you rather is: would you rather always know when people are lying or always get away with lying easily? Another thing you could write in your bio is an unusual skill that you have. So if you do have an unusual skill yourself and you mention it in your bio, it's something that is going to stick out to other users when they do read your bio. So let me go over some examples. One example is: I'm great with tongue twisters, even pad kid, poured curd, pulled cod. I can write with both my left and right hand equally well. I can hand whistle the good, the bad, and the ugly theme song pretty perfectly. Another example is: I can identify planes with ease, my pinky toes don't feel any pain, and I can make a wave with my belly. It's almost like a belly dance. Another great conversational starter that you could put in your bio as well is 2 truths and a lie. So this is where you tell 2 truths of yourself and 1 lie of yourself, but you don't let the other user know which one is the lie. So they can now have a conversation with you where they can guess what the lie actually is. So some examples of this include: I can speak Latin, I never wash my hair, or I'm colorblind. And another 2 truths and 1 lie for you is: I was kicked out of a wedding, I hate dogs, and I went swimming with sharks. So this is gonna move me into number 4 on my list, but before I jumped into that, I did wanna ask you guys to be sure you are hitting like and subscribe. Seriously, it really does help push our videos out so that more users can utilize this information from us here on Online for Love. We super duper appreciate it. So this is moving me onto number 4 on my list, which is you are too picky. If you are getting no matches, but you know that your Tinder profile is perfect, you have fantastic photos, and your bio is a great conversational piece, you might have to consider that you're being too picky on the app, or that maybe Tinder just isn't the right app for you. If you're going through all these profiles and you notice that you're not really swiping right on very many people and you swipe left on 99% of people, then it's gonna be unlikely for you to be making a lot of matches if you're not swiping right enough. Sadly, there's really no way for you to know if Tinder's the right app for you until you try this, but if you do utilize Tinder and you find that you aren't making a lot of matches on there, even though you're swiping right not that much, and so it would be good for ELO score, but you're not getting any matches at the same time, I do suggest that you check out some different online dating websites. The truth is, even though it might not seem like it, there are a different niche of people across multiple different online dating websites, and different groups of people will be compatible on one dating website versus another. So what I do encourage you to do is to actually check out the rest of our channel. We have hundreds of different online dating website reviews that we've done. You can also take our online dating app quiz as well, which is in the bio down below. Outside of that, if you did want to make yourself have an even better Tinder profile, I do highly suggest you check out our Tinder 101 Hub. Our Tinder 101 Hub consists of 70+ articles that give you the information needed to master Tinder. And another indispensable necessity is our Tinder opening line formula. Using the Tinder opening line formula, we've discovered that users have received 3 times the response rate they had before. These necessities are in our links in our bio down below, again, along with our online dating app quiz and more. So if you guys want to see some more content from us, I highly suggest you check out the videos popping up on my left and right here. And I did want to ask you guys to be sure you are hitting like and subscribe. Seriously, we super duper appreciate it. I'll catch you guys here next time on Online for Love. See ya.